Now, here's the admittedly dated Starship Troopers animated series, Roughnecks. It ran in 1999 and was divided into 8 story arcs, otherwise known as campaigns. The order of these campaigns is Pluto, Hydora, Tophet, Teska, Zypher, Plendathu, and Homefront, also known as Earth. Yes, the last campaign of the series takes place on Earth, and because of various production problems and being screwed over by a few networks, it ended in a cliffhanger. Still, it's a fun series with plenty of nice moments, and it takes a good amount from both the movie and the book to create its own little world. The appearance of most of the bugs, a few details of the characters, and the organization and attitudes of the Army and Navy are from the movie. The equipment and an extra race that we'll see later in the series is from the book. Everything else is pretty original as far as I'm aware. Actually, let's talk about the equipment for a bit. The standard Grunt's armor is a good deal more protective, whereas the poor infantry in the movie were torn to shreds pretty easily. This armor is actually quite effective. Sure, it was partly done because this was supposed to be a kids' show, but if you get past the fact that there's few, if any, on-screen deaths that aren't bugs and no swearing, it's still a good series that certainly does try to make you feel like you're watching an army fight a desperate struggle.
We have an R-triple-D. Do you read?
R-triple-D. That's code?
Yeah, really deep doo-doo.
Request immediate ground support.
Negative, Alpha Team. No squads available.
Charlie, Delta, and Echo squads were dropped in range of our position.
All squads designated R-triple-D. We are in a crisis situation. We'll provide retrieval at earliest opportunity. Over.
The first campaign starts not long after something called Operation Pest Control, humanity's first encounter with the bugs. Humanity won pretty handily, but not much is known about the bugs just yet. All that is known is that we killed plenty of them, and suddenly joining the army has become the cool thing to do. Buenos Aires hasn't been destroyed, so at the very least we aren't starting this war over a tragedy that we're being lied to about. Our heroes launch from the ship Valley Forge into their first battle together, and we're introduced to the team. First we have Sergeant Francis Bruto, and for some reason I always heard his name as Bruno. He's a hard taskmaster and kind of an ass, but while he clashes with the other characters at various points, he never enters Frank Burns' territory.
Rico, Carl, what part of the LT's order did you not understand? Move your butts!
Sir, yes, sir!
Next up, Corporal Richard Doc Lecroix. He's the medic for the team. The only black guy, and he has a pretty good sense of humor. When he's not patching the others up or fighting on foot with them, he pilots a marauder exoskeleton.
Radical reconstructive surgery is the only option.
Leg's that bad?
Leg's fine. I was talking about your face.
Corporal Jeff Gossard, better known as Goss, is the tech expert of the team. He's another mech pilot, but he's no slouch outside of one.
Hey, Gossard, you're getting slow.
That's what every rookie says.
The guy who narrates a good deal of the series is Private Robert Higgins, and he's far more comfortable with a camera in his hands than a gun. He's a reporter who's mostly there to get the story back home in whatever ways he can. But he occasionally has his moments of being useful to the team.
We have to draw the bugs away from the canyon as a group and wipe them out with one big blast.
How about serving them a big plate of laser chow?
Not enough laser mags left for that much bait.
Lieutenant, what if we had something that could magnify the laser fire?
Such as?
Now we're getting some familiar names. Private Isabel Dizzy Flores. She's still just as much a rough and tumble tomboy, and arguably even more badass now. If you want a bunch of bugs killed in a hurry, there's no one better. Even if she is a little too trigger-happy on occasion.
Hey, Isabel, you look like you're ready to go.
Now we're getting some familiar names. Private Isabel Dizzy Flores. She's still just as much a rough and tumble tomboy, and arguably even more badass now. If you want a bunch of bugs killed in a hurry, there's no one better. Even if she is a little too trigger-happy on occasion. And here he is, the guy who was the main character of the movie. Good old Johnny Rico. He's a good bit more sensible from the start, but he's still a guy with something to prove, so sometimes his brain doesn't quite keep up with what his body's doing. Like, say, taunting a fire-spewing bug deep in enemy territory. Wait. How does fire work in an oxygen-free environment like Pluto anyway?
I don't remember seeing this in those recruitment commercials.
Maybe we should sue.
Carl's in the squad too. Apparently someone upstairs felt this squad might need a psychic or something. While his psychic abilities can be pretty helpful, like in detecting enemies that the equipment doesn't register, or emergency therapy, kinda takes very special circumstances for his talents to help him outshine the team. Guess that's what happens when you're surrounded by a good number of badasses.
Carl, did you do something to me?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it gone? The fear? Forever?
I doubt it. One of these days we'll probably need a booster shot or something.
So, what's it like inside my head?
Scary.
Last but not least is Lieutenant Gene Razzaq, former teacher, well-decorated soldier, harsh but fair father to the rest of the team, and he seems to have a better prosthetic arm this time around. Certainly not as bulky. His two biggest concerns are getting the job done and making sure as few people under him die as possible. All in all, it's a pleasure to see that the Roughnecks are still being led by a solid veteran.
Bugs can smell human blood from a kilometer away. Through skin, through suits, through steel. They feel no pain and have no emotions. Their only desire is to kill you. They are not life as we know it. Is that clear?
Outside of the team, of course, are Carmen and Xander. Granted, they aren't nearly as bad as their movie incarnations. Xander's still pretty arrogant, but he's tolerable. If anything, it looks kinda like he's earned the right to be a little arrogant. He's pretty damn good at what he does. And while he does still try to flirt with Carmen, she's a good deal more professional than him, despite being newer at the job. I might even respect the pair of them in this show, but I can't find it in me to really care about them. Either that's an unfortunate side effect of my extreme aggravation whenever they're around in the movie, or just the fact that I'm far more invested in the infantry squad, and these two are never part of the team. Typically, they rescue or are rescued by the Roughnecks. They never really mesh with the team. Anyway, on Pluto, the team has its hands pretty damn full. Apparently the bugs are more numerous and have more breeds than were faced in Operation Pest Control. While the team more than holds its own, it's hard to say just how much of an impact they really have in the battle to hold Pluto. The enemy just keeps coming, and the troopers aren't equipped to deal with the newer breeds.
Company's coming.
Who?
Indeterminate mobile mass. Family size.
Basic training never mentioned those.
We didn't know about those.
I'd suggest watching the Pluto campaign, and if you like where it goes, check out the rest of the series. Sure, the animation doesn't match things like Riders of Berk. Everyone moves kinda stiffly, but hey, CGI was still pretty new back then. The music is nothing particularly memorable, but never distracts from what's going on screen and occasionally enhances it. The voice acting is good, the dialogue also good. Really, my only complaint with the series is that it never really got a conclusion. 36 episodes in all, and they wrote it with 40 in mind. And while there are a few clips out there with the general outline of the last 3 episodes, well, that doesn't make up for the fact that Starship Troopers Roughnecks will never be completed.
No! What? They're just gonna leave us here?
Unfortunately, yes. Hey, I don't want to bring any spoilers to something I like this much. Just give enough titillating info that others might want to look into it.